Hey everyone, happy Friday. And this is my story time about one of the best friends I have and how I found that person here in Sweden. And I've gotten the okay to say this stuff online. But I used to work in stem cell transplants. And when you do those kind of stem cell transplants, your patients are isolated from, a month to 3 months. And so you get to know them if you want to. And one day we had a patient come in, and there was this immediate friend chemistry between me and him and his boyfriend. And, you know, everyone on the ward loved him. We all fought to have him as our patient. And then we found each other on the outside. And this is about 5 years ago now. And we're still the best of friends. So I've seen him go through his cancer journey and was there through the really rough times. Funny enough, now that I had cancer last year, he was there for mine. So not very many people can say they met in such circumstances. He was there at some of my chemo appointments, some of my radiation appointments, was just a 3-hour drive back and forth. He helped me wig shop. I can pretty much speak to him about anything and vice versa. It's just those of you who live here in Stockholm know it is extremely hard to find people. Yeah, maybe some might frown upon the fact that, he was my patient, but, after they're not your patients anymore and they find you, I don't see the problem with it. You're not my patient anymore. I don't work with stem cell transplants anymore. I haven't for years. It's really, really hard to find those really good people in life, those really good friends that that you'll be able to stick with for years and years to come. I mean, I've gone to his hometown. I've met his parents. We, like a couple weeks ago, I went with him to his tattoo appointment, and it's just, yeah, those of you who are in Stockholm know the struggle. And I'm sure it's probably almost everywhere that, once you become an adult, it's extremely hard to find a really good friend, someone you can really trust. I know that if I call him with a problem or I'm feeling bad or whatever, he'll pick up, he'll answer. He actually is one of the most outspoken people I've ever met, which I absolutely love. We can have our little disagreements and tiffs, but it's always taken well. And I really appreciate the honesty, because that's very rare here. Because, the Swedish culture is very anti-conflicts. A lot of Swedish people are very afraid to speak their mind and say how they're feeling because they're afraid of how you might take it. And I'm sure it's exhausting running these 100 scenarios in your mind. But that's what I love about him is, he can tell me straight up if he thinks I'm doing something dumb or if he doesn't agree, and vice versa. And the fact that I got to see him go through his journey and then he got to see and help me through mine just made it a little extra special. And having someone that knows what it feels like, granted, his, whole treatment was way worse than mine. But it's one of those things where it's like, when you explain something and say something and someone actually can say, yeah, I know. And that person actually does know. It means so much. And yeah, I just wanted to tell everyone about the weird story of and how I met one of my besties here. Not very many people can say they met on such terms and that they kept the friendship going. And I hope we are friends for years and years to come.